Hello everyone, welcome back to Black Moon Coven. So today we're going to be making a flying oil. Now this is a subscriber requested video, so if you have any subscriber requested topics that you want me to cover or talk about or make in video or blog form, you could put them down in the comments below. So this actual recipe was inspired by The Crooked Path by Keldon. If you haven't read this book, it's actually quite new. It's a must read, highly recommended for any traditional witch. This is not a Wiccan book, and it really clearly states that in there as well. This is a highly traditional book, and it's just such a great read. In the very beginning, the dedication reads, "To Veles, my soul friend and constant companion along this crooked path." Now, for those of you that don't know, Veles is a Slavic deity, so automatically I was connected to this book really highly. He also mentions Baba Yaga in there, so I was just in love. I love this book, and I highly recommend reading it for anyone that is into like more traditional type of magic. So today we are making flying oil. Now typically, for those of you that don't know, flying oil is made out of a lot of toxic herbs. Flying oil is really steeped in our witchcraft folklore and our witchcraft history. Witches would use flying oil, flying salves, or ointments to get to their Sabbaths, to astrally project, to use in spirit work. It's a really third eye opening type of oil, really good for psychic power and meditation and things like that. However, most of the flying ointments and oils, especially from back in the day, have been, they use a lot of toxic herbs. They use a lot of psychedelic herbs to kind of promote this sensation. However, these herbs that I have chosen here are very low on the psychedelic scale. They will not make you trip out. However, it'll cause a really light calming effect, so you can open your own mind a little bit more during meditation or dream work or anything like that. So you can use these herbs in an oil. You can use these herbs in a tea. You can use them in a salve or, in an ointment. However, please limit your consumption, especially with herbs like mugwort and wormwood and damania, just because in really large quantities of consumption, it can be toxic. So again, very limit your consumption and do the proper research when using these herbs in a different way. So to make this oil, here we go. We're going to be using olive oil as a carrier. Like always, I use olive oil for everything. It's liquid gold, and plus it's very cheap. This bottle cost me about $3, and I got a lot of oils out of it. You're going to need a bottle to put your oil in. I like using the cork caps. I know a lot of people are really indifferent to whatever jar they put their oil in. However, I like using the cork cap because the oil gets sucked into the cork and then I could dab it on things. But it's just a matter of preference, really. You're going to need a bowl and a spoon. And then the herbs that I have specifically chosen, again, will make a really mild psychedelic effect. Very low on the psychedelic scale. So you can use different herbs to create this. However, the herbs that I have chosen are lavender, damania, bay leaves. We have wormwood, mugwort, rosemary, and cinquefoil. So you can also use like valerian root, poplar buds, vervain, things like that. However, again, please research the herbs that you use and the herbs that you mix together to create this type of oil. So here we go. We are going to take our bowl and we are going to start mixing in some herbs. We're going to start with the cinquefoil. And again, mix equal parts of each herb. So I'm going to do about a teaspoon of each. Some lavender. Some mugwort. Again, limit your consumption if you are drinking tea with mugwort. Really high quantities of this herb can be toxic, so just really limit how much you consume. If you're using it in an oil and you are just dabbing it on your skin topically, I would also limit my consumption just because you don't want too much absorbing through the skin. Now, we're going to put a little damania in here as well. some wormwood. You'll notice it's going to be a very green type of oil from the herbs that we are using. Some rosemary. And the bay leaves I'm going to leave whole just because I like that look inside of my bottle. So we're going to mix these herbs together, and you will notice that wormwood and mugwort and even cinquefoil have these very, very clumpy properties to it. It kind of reminds me of cannabis. So it's very, very clumpy. You kind of want to mix it up a little bit more than you would in a regular herb, just to kind of separate them. Now you're going to take your bottle, and of course you are going to just fill it with the herbs. Now, it depends on you how much herbs you want inside of the bottle. I typically fill it to about a quarter of the way. You still want enough room for your oil to actually develop. So fill it up about a quarter of the way. Make sure that you get all the herbs that you need. So that's a good amount, and the rest of the herbs you can use again in a tea or things like that, but limit your consumption. And then the bay leaves, I'm just going to drop a couple of whole bay leaves in there. And our olive oil is the last thing, and you're going to fill it up, leaving about a little bit of room on top so you can shake your oil. So that's a good amount. So you can shake your oil. And it's all done. So to this oil, you can add essential oils if you want it to smell a certain way or anything like that. But that is basically what it looks like, flying oil. This is my own version of flying oil. Again, you can use other herbs like vervain or other things to create this type of effect. Typically, traditionally, flying oils have really toxic herbs in them. If you go online, you will see a bunch of different herbs like this, or a bunch of different salves and oils like this as well. But just please be careful about who you're buying it from and what kind of method they're using and what kind of herbs that they are using. The advantages of making your own flying oil is that you control what's in the oil, and you know the amount of quantities that are in here, so you kind of control what's in here and what's being used. So that's kind of the advantage of that. Plus it's cheaper, and yeah, you get to make a pretty little oil. So before sleep, if I want to have any really weird dreams or anything like that, I'll mix a cup of tea with a little bit of these herbs, and then I'll anoint myself with that oil. Or before any deep meditation, I'll anoint myself, or any candles or anything like that. So that is basically it. Again, if you have any subscriber requests, please put them down below, or reach out through different AMINOS that I'm a part of, and all the links will be down below. So if you haven't joined the coven, please do so, and follow me on all of my social media. Again, please pick up a copy of this book. It's highly recommended from me. It's a great, great book to just have on your bookshelf. A lot of great recipes in there as well. So that is basically it, and everyone have a lovely rest of your day.